Hello guys, today I'm gonna do a video. I'm gonna teach you guys how to set up a counter gear on Super II, VS, Super I, and Super XS chassis. Okay, first let's take a look at the counter gear, which is for those chassis. And take a look at it, and those chassis, they're using this type of counter gear. Basically, it's have one shaft with holding the counter gear, and it's gonna be set up on top of the shaft gear. Okay, then the AT pinion gear, which is on the motor, gonna be transfer the power to the counter gear, then transfer to the shaft yellow gear, which is right here. Okay. The reason today I want to show you the demonstration because if you set up right, and this is gonna be improve a lot of speed, because most racer, they just, what do? They just open the package and put a gear on it, and then they finish. Actually, that's not right, because let me show you on Super II chassis. If you just open the package like this, and you just using the stock shaft, and put the ball bearing come with the package, and you just toss air, basically just toss everything on the chassis. Let me tell you, people didn't know. It's maybe it's looks smooth like this way, but go look a little bit closer right here. Let me, folks can see it. See this part right here? It's contact under this part right here. That's create a lot of resistance. See that? If it's contact, it's dead. Okay. Of course, I mean, it's you let it go, it will like spin really crazy. But once it's contact with the part right here, see it's blocked. Okay. In order to having a better performance on the counter gear, which is this one right here. And I'm just gonna tell you, do not using this type of cheap ball bearing, which is right here. Let me just take it out real quick. Okay, take a look at this type of ball bearing. The reason I don't like it, it's not about it's do not spin really fast. It is because it's really waggle. Look this. It's very unstable. Okay, and this type of design ball bearing is really bad because they don't have those bearing roll. Bearing. It's called a bearing holder to hold all the ball bearing inside to stable the ball bearing. Best recommend to using this ball bearing, which is right here, the part number 94389, the AO620 ball bearing. Let's take a look at AO620. Okay, it's really solid design. It's really accurate. It don't really waggle too much. And the good thing about it is this type of ball bearing, they have a dust cover, and also it's inside they have a ball holder. It's holding it, holding all the ball. All the ball inside the ball bearing is really tight, and it makes it very accurate spin, and it don't really waggle too much. Okay. Okay. First, we're gonna put this one into the counter gear. The AO620. Okay. So after that, let me tell you this: you don't want to using the this one right here, the stock gear shaft, because the stock gear shaft, it's really rough on the surface. It's have a lot of resistance. So best recommend using the flowing gear shaft, which is right here. Okay. And I'm not gonna open that one, but I already have one right here. This is the flowing gear shaft, which is for Super II VS and the Super XS chassis. Okay, you can, you probably cannot feel it, but the one I'm holding both, I can feel this one really smooth. It's hard to even to grab on it. And this one, you can feel it's rough, and you can feel it's have a lot of resistance. So for better performance, it's better to using this one, flowing gear shaft. Okay. So next, you're gonna put the flowing gear shaft into the gear. Okay. Then next, you have to be really attention, because you're gonna using this item number 94768, the bearing roller spacer, which is this one right here. Okay. The reason why you want to using this one to attach to the gear like this. This one have two functions. First function, it will like improve the ball bearing spin speed, because you know, if you put a regular washer right here, and it's gonna be block the ball bearing, I mean rotation. And the second function is because you can see from side, when you put the spacer, which is right here, actually it stick out a little bit. So in this case, when you put the gear on the car, it's preventing, it's block between the gear and the wall right here. So it's give you a very tiny space. I mean, I would say a gap right here, to preventing your counter gear to making a fraction contact with the wall right here. Because if your counter gear is keep like a contact and making fraction right here, it's gonna slow down a lot. Okay, so this thing right here is gonna be preventing that happen. You can see. Okay, let me just hold it real. You can see. See, as you can see right here, let me focus a little bit, you can see the detail. Okay, as you can see here, right now you have a spacer, it's blocked here. So this part will preventing the counter gear was one on the high speed, I mean once on rotating, and then it's preventing it's hitting the wall here to make a fraction slow you down. Okay, so that thing gonna preventing that happen. Okay. Second thing you have to be really careful, it is because when you set up your counter gear on the chassis, you're not just finished. Okay, make sure you're gonna try to put the counter gear back to the chassis. Okay, you're not finished. You have to make sure you're gonna put a gearbox back to the chassis. No motor, okay? Just the gearbox. Make sure after you cover that up, it's nothing blocks. It's like this. If you hear anything weird, anything fraction, you hear anything like making a fraction, make a noise, which means you still have to adjust it, because the problem of the gearbox right here, let me tell you. When you try to put it back, if the gap right here is not right, this part of gear gonna contact this part right here, gonna create some resistance. So every single time when you set up your counter gear, make sure you put it back to the chassis. And make sure it's a spin right. There's nothing, you know, making a noise. Okay, like this one, it's no good, because it's possible because the spacer right here don't fit to my chassis. So in this way, you have another option. You're gonna using this motor spacer, which is right here. Okay, this white thing is from the armature. So you open the Tamiya motor, you will find this white thing located right here and right here. You're gonna remove that piece, use that piece right here. Okay. This is gonna work like this thing gonna work same as the roller spacer, but this is more small, so you can adjust the size you want it to keep adding the numbers of the spacer. So right now I'm only gonna put a 3 on this gear. Okay, so let's see it's getting better. Okay, so right now I'm gonna put this cap back to see if it's still smooth. Okay, see, it's still dead, which means have to open again and then reduce the pieces. Okay, so again, gonna put this one back. Okay, right now it's getting better. So I don't hear any noise. I don't hear any fraction. Any fraction noise. So which means it's on right position. Okay, so that's how you set up your counter gear. Just make sure first thing you have to really be careful is just make sure you have to keep some a gap right here, okay, to preventing the counter gear contact with the wall right here. Second thing, you have to make sure you're not block the counter gear on the shaft. Make sure your counter gear still can a little bit waggle, a little bit loose on the shaft. Because if you 40 block the counter gear like this, it won't spin. Okay, so you have to keep a little bit gap on this side and this side as well. So in this case, the counter gear can move freely. The second thing, you have to make sure you put a cap back, the gear cap back, and make sure after that it's spin same as the situation without the cap. Okay, next thing I'm going to talk about it. I know a lot of people on eBay bought my this one, the 100% floating gear system. Okay, so let me just for people that bought this gear from me, remember when you bought this gear, I give you a lot of extra part, spare pieces for the motor spacer. So same, when you put this one on it, make sure you have right number. You have to adjust the spacer right here. Okay, so it's by adding or either decreasing the number of motor spacer right here to give better position and counter gear like this one. See, if you have the right spacer on the counter gear, it will spin really fast. Okay, so right now I'm putting 3 pieces. So for people who bought this one from me, you can try 2 pieces first. Okay, then take a look at the green gear right here. Make sure this part right here, let me point right, make sure this part right here not too close to the yellow gear right here. So right now you can see this middle line right here is too close to the edges of yellow gear. So which means you need to add 1 more spacer. Okay, so right now I have 3 spacer. It's really hard to tell how many spacer you want it until you put the number of spacer, until you put on it. So right now, see, I have a perfect size. And the second thing, again, make sure you put this one back to the gearbox and make sure it's really solid, and take a look at it. If you have a better gap, this counter gear won't touch anything in the gearbox like this. It still can spin freely inside of the gearbox. So next, what you have to do is you're gonna put it back. Okay, make sure it's spinning same as the way without the gearbox, like this one. See, it's very nice. Okay, I just finished here. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel. And if you have any question, just leave a comment. I will just answer as soon as possible.